It's your lucky day. Here's your very own $1 million check. The only condition is that you can only use it to buy a house. You can choose to live anywhere in the world: Europe, Asia, Australia, the Americas, heck, even a private island in the Caribbean. You can finally settle down in the environment you've always.
So first off, you give me $1 million check and you telling me the only thing I can buy is a house. So that means I have to use the full mill, or can I use 500 racks of it and then take the other 500 and do some other things with it? So before we even watch this, where would you guys choose to live if you had $1 million and you had to buy a house? Where's the place you would choose to live? Chat, I can't stand. I need my second monitor back. Me personally, I mean, it's where I live now. I think that's just gonna be it. But nah, I buy two houses. Let's keep it a stack. And what's crazy? Oh my gosh, I don't know if Japan's gonna be on this list, but there was this woman I met. She bought a 7-bedroom house. Beautiful. This place is fucking beautiful, and it's built in the old style, like tatami rooms, so on and so forth. Listen, when she said it, I knew I was translating right, but she's her primary language is Spanish, and I thought for a second, I'm like, there's no way. I thought she said $50,000, and when she said it again, I'm like, wait, you did not buy that house for $5,000. She did. It was a old lady who just didn't want the house anymore. She couldn't afford to live like that by herself now. Wanted to just go off and move to another city. Of course, like where it's at, it's super far south here in Japan. I cannot remember the exact city name. I'd have to pull it up. But I was like, $5,000? Are you kidding me? She's like, nah. This is the way things are done in some of those more rural areas. I was like, even at $50,000, I would have found a way. I'd have robbed a motherfucker. I'd have found a way to have $50,000 just to buy that house. It is absolutely beautiful. But yeah, anyway, that's well worth it.
Dreamed of. Be that a modern waterfront mansion with sparkling waterfront views, or a penthouse apartment in a New York or Dubai skyscraper.
See, that always pisses me off when they're like an apartment in New York or Dubai. First off, I think the apartment in Dubai would actually be much, much more worth it versus an apartment in New York. The square footage you're getting in New York is going to be ass for $1 million. It's just not going to be anything. And if you're going to live in the States as a whole, you could actually buy 3 houses. Well, there was a property I saw in, was it Kansas or Oklahoma? I want to say it was Kansas. It was amazing. There was essentially 2 houses plus this massive guest house on acres upon acres of land. You could have your own farm in that bitch if you want to. It was only like 350, maybe 400 grand. That's it. Why would you ever? I don't give a damn. New York is New York. I don't care. Why would you ever live in a fucking 2-bedroom apartment that doesn't even have a kitchen for $1 million? Get up out of here, bruh.
You'll quickly discover $1 million can go a mighty long way. Or, in some particularly affluent areas, it'll barely even get you a parking spot. Need some help deciding where to move? Let's take a look at what 7 figures will buy us across every corner of the globe. Kicking off our journey around the world is the city that never sleeps, a place home to over 8 million people, the bustling metropolis that is New York City. The Big Apple is one of the most expensive cities across the U.S., but on its infamous Central Island, the skyscraper-tastic borough of Manhattan, the prices get even higher and the apartments get even smaller. The median price for a 1-bedroom apartment here is almost $1 million, so that's
a one the median price for a one bedroom is almost $1 million. God. Oh, that's outrageous. Wow.
It's exactly what we can expect to buy.
I mean, somebody like give me a handy or something every morning when I wake up. I like at this point, one bedroom apartment, $1 million.
Choose from a one-bedroom, 640 square foot apartment in the West Village that comes with a private terrace and gym in the building. Or go for this one, another one-bedroom straddling Murray Hill in Midtown. It's a 2-story open floor plan on the top floor of the building, offering impressive views of the skyline from the outer deck. It even includes...
I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of cool. That's kind of, oh, that kitchen is nice too, oh boy. Oh, but here's the thing: you're getting grand views of the skyline. Nigga, there's nothing but buildings in my way. That's it. That's all I'm seeing. Yo, get out of here.
Includes a dishwasher and a washing machine, which might not sound crazy, but it's rather rare for apartments like this that were built in the 1920s. Still, beware, there's no elevator, so you'll be getting a daily workout.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. $1 million and you telling me I have to walk the entire fucking to the top? Nope. This one's out of there.
It's actually not as small as most people would expect, but as we hop over to Paris, then we really start to feel the squeeze. The City of Lights is renowned for its food, its architecture, and its bubbling culture. What it's not known for, however, is its spacious living. Considering the average cost per square foot is over $1,300, with $1 million on hand in the French capital, you'll be able to sign the deed to, well, a studio apartment. But don't forget, you're in Paris. You'll be spending your time...
Ain't no way. Listen, you know what? I can't stand when people say, but you're in Paris. Paris is fucking trash. Yo, if you have never been there. So when I was living at home in Spain, fucking going anywhere through Europe it's a very simple thing. Paris, I'm sorry, it's so overrated. The city is actually fucking ass. It's trash. The food, listen, don't get me wrong, as being the man who loves food, who can cook his ass off as well, the food is fantastic. But I'm sorry. No. And you telling me $1 million is getting me a studio apartment in Paris? Fuck. Man, I want to crash out right now. Like, I ain't even playing. This shit is making me want to crash out.
I'm walking down the Seine, visiting museums, and watching the world go by from a street-side cafe. This tiny 667 square foot apartment sits in the 7th arrondissement within walking distance of the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre, while the open-plan living space makes it...
Oh, hell no. Absolutely not. That is claustrophobia city right there for anybody who has claustrophobia. Like, this is a love hotel in Japan. That's what the fuck that is. And you telling me $1 million for that? Nah. Get out of here. Nope.
Feel a little bigger. For a squiz over $1 million, what you're really paying for here is the location. From a chic city full of history and charm to a rapidly evolving desert oasis, let's jet on over to Dubai and see what the real estate agents have in store in a region synonymous with luxury. With $1 million check, you could find yourself living in the world's tallest building, the Burj Khalifa, where a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, stylish apartment covering some 1,800 square feet is ready to be swept up. Check out...
But you notice, okay, it's in the Burj Khalifa. First off, it's 1,800 versus 600 square feet. Like, that is 3 times. All right, even still, $1 million. But this is expected of Dubai. But even still, as I said, there ain't no fucking way you're putting me in an apartment for $1 million. Hell no.
Out those views. At a comparably cheap $353 per square foot, the dollars stretch a lot further in the UAE.
That is
if you're willing to live a little further inland, then that same bag of cash could buy you an enormous 3,566 square foot family home, which boasts a pool and a beautiful front garden.
That's what I'm talking about right there. 3,000 square foot family home, a little bit more inland. Sign me up, cuz. Like, I'm with that. Why is it so, like, this is the problem with the mentality of people in the first place. Everything is, my life is so luxurious, and your life is actually shit, to be honest about it. Oh, I get to do all the like. It's asinine that people actually allocate happiness to or associate happiness to living in a cramped fucking home. That's crazy to me. There ain't no way that you're telling me that you should choose to live in Paris in a 600 fucking square foot studio apartment versus even the Burj Khalifa at 1,800 square feet, but even better, just a little bit farther, a little bit out of the downtown bustle in the area, a 3,500 square foot house. That place is beautiful. Get out of here, man.
UAE, let's board a 14-hour flight to the Great White North. Welcome to Toronto, folks, home of the most expensive property.
Oh yeah, I was about to say before you even said like Canada is the pricing in Canada is crazy. Like between there and Britain, yeah, unless it's not your first home and just a vacay spot or just a quick spot to lay your head. Okay, I can get down with that, but here's the problem: I'm still not spending a meal on 600 square feet. Like it's not happening. I'll crash out in that tiny ass apartment, and I figure if you're gonna do that, you can actually find. Well, Paris it's a shit show of a place, honestly, when it comes to housing in the first place. But I'm sure you could find somewhere that's a bit bigger and actually has a kitchen. Because one of the most important things I think to me, besides having more space than that, even for like just my crash pad, is to actually be able to have a space to eat and cook something, especially in a city like that where the prices it's nowhere near like here. Like here in Japan, I think it's so much easier to go out and eat. It's just fucking easy, and it's fair. Everywhere else, eating out, that's gonna punch your fucking pocket something fierce. But of course, if you got that kind of bread, it really doesn't matter to you. But I think it's just for me, it's just so important to me to be able to cook, and if I am somewhere to entertain, you know, Shawty might come through something like that. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but whatever. Neil
In all of North America. Here, with a citywide square footage average of $804, this Ontarian city edges out Los Angeles and Rome in its terms of price. If you're hoping of living amidst the hustle and bustle of the downtown area, look out, because your cash will be swept away in no time. Believe it or not, this tiny home, let's be honest, looks little more than a shack or tool shed, was listed for $1 million. The blueprint shows 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, with the property notably located smack bang in the middle of Little Italy. Of course, if you were going to buy this place, the value comes from the land on which it's...
Listen, I really didn't want to pause and even make a comment on that, because I'm like, somebody was trolling, right? A mill, that place is literally a shed. A mill for a fucking shed. Nah. I am done at that point. You're crazy.
Sits, not necessarily the house itself. Who's ready for a trip down under? Australians have long been obsessed with property, and the continually rising prices in major cities prove it. The vibrant city of Melbourne is famous for its arts, culture, and coffee, but it's also, unfortunately, famous for its wallet-draining real estate. For 1.275 million Aussie dollars, just shy of $1 million American, you could sweep up this spacious 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house in the affluent suburb of Caulfield. It features its own front and backyard, sits conveniently a 1-minute stroll from the tram stop, and just a quick 10-minute drive to the sandy shores of St. Kilda Beach. Keep in mind, however, that in Melbourne, and in fact most populated cities, costs can vary substantially. The median Melbourne house price of $881,000 could get you a tiny flat next to the ocean, or a 5-bedroom mansion on rural outskirts. As we spin the globe...
Nothing about this sounds good at all. Like, it's literally... And it's Australia. Like, no, thank you. Australia, New Zealand, no thank you. I don't want to live there. Ever. Like, even it's gonna visit there, it's like All right, great. I was down under, mate. Like, bye. I'm out. No more.
Once more, 9,600 miles northwest of the Victorian capital is our next destination, Destin Point, near Pensacola, Florida. The average price per square foot around here is $215, almost 5 times cheaper than New York. With cash in hand, you'll be able to snap up a truly stunning beachfront retreat. Picture this, 1,850 square feet of living space, 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, all renovated, and unbeatable views of the Gulf of Mexico. For the cherry on top, as part of a gated community, you'll also have access to 2 swimming pools, a hot tub, and a number of tennis courts.
Okay, see, this sounds good, all except it's Florida, where you could get swept away by any number of things. Hurricanes, fucking, floods. Florida man coming through with his gators on meth. I don't know, whatever. Listen, this sounds way better, but yeah, living in Florida, that's just, that's such a risky. Like, there's a lot of places that are extremely risky to live in when it comes to natural disasters, but that southern area of the states, that risk is just so much higher. So much higher.
What's the drawback? It's a little further out from major cities, but hey, city living isn't for everyone. All right, folks, hold on to your wallets because our next city is about as expensive as they come. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the most exorbitant area not only in Europe, but worldwide. Nestled on the French Riviera, sporting a reputation for high-rolling luxury, this, of course, is Monte Carlo. On a broader scale,
From what I understand, or is it Monte Carlo that's the, or is it another place? But beyond the UAE, I think even more. This is the, there's, how do I put this? Within like 1 mile, more billionaires live there than any one country has, or some shit like that. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. But the money here is just shit. I wouldn't be surprised if they gave you a box that was like a jail cell for $1 million in this motherfucker, for real.
Monaco is the world's most expensive prime residential market, and none of its regions comes with prices as sky high as the infamous Monte Carlo. At $4,924 per square foot, what can we expect for $1 million? Not much. You'll get a teeny tiny 377 square foot studio with barely half a kitchen. That's no bigger than a standard 2-car garage, but you'll be spending all your time on your yacht anyway.
Yeah, you definitely a billionaire to live here. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That was a jail cell for $1 million. Like, that's what that was. Wow. 300 square foot? Wow. Nah, I'm out.
Right? For that kind of money, we could live like royalty in a place like Arizona. The cactus-filled state is quickly gaining steam as a retiree's dream destination. Why? Because with $1 million, you can live in a truly astonishing mountain estate.
No joke. So listen to this. So one of the companies I consulted for there in Arizona, they did window and door replacements. There was a show called, was it like the world's, fuck, it was on Netflix, like the world's most, not expensive, was it the world's most expensive homes? I don't know, it was something that dealt with the architecture of these homes. The very first episode, Arizona, that house was actually designed by the owner of that company I consulted for, and he had showed me it was ridiculous, the layout. The whole entire back area was nothing but glass sliding doors, and that's what this company did. They could turn your back wall into literally an entire glass door structure. So you have like this indoor outdoor experience for, cookout, so on and so forth. If you don't know, Arizona, like it it hardly rains there. When it does, it's during monsoon season. Not that big of a deal. The heat is dry, but it's still hot as fuck. Okay, it's still hot. I don't care what anybody says. It's a dry heat. It's 118 degrees Fahrenheit. Excuse me. I don't care how dry it is. Your skin, and I think that's why so many people in Arizona are crazy too, because the sun is just tearing their brain apart. It literally, it's just horrid. But winter only exists for honestly 1 month. Technically, I mean December through February. December, January, February should be winter. There, it's like all you get is like one cold month, which is January, and then that goes away after like 2 weeks. If you gonna spend money on living somewhere, you do have to deal with a lot of bullshit because the state is ass backward. Like the slogan for Arizona is "Come on vacation, leave on probation." So you go ahead and take that how you want to take it. It's legit though, but the cost of living now it's getting bad, but still $1 million will get you almost a fucking mansion there. Like $1 million will get you a mansion there. Like not almost. The shit is getting you a mansion. And I've seen it like this area. I bet I know exactly where this area is. Going up towards the mountains here. Like this is no joke. Every home in this area is 5, 6, 7 bedrooms, some bigger, and they are only 500 grand and up. You might even find like a 350,000 one in this area too. That's just you could put 2 homes from somewhere else in that bitch.
Just like this one. Situated outside of Tucson, this 4,560 square foot mansion boasts sweeping views of the rugged desert landscape, with barely a neighbor in sight. It features floor-to-ceiling windows, a decked-out games room, and an expansive patio. Better yet, it also comes with a 237 square foot guest house, basically the same size as the one we just saw in Monte Carlo. The median list price per square foot in Tucson is $125, one of the most affordable we've seen so far. We're hopping back over to Asia to check out our next house. In the crowded city of Hong Kong, real estate prices continue to soar. For just under our budget, we can grab this cozy 708 square foot apartment in the Discovery Bay area. The floor plan features 3 small bedrooms, but hey, 3 is better than 1, right? Plus 2 bathrooms and a wonderful oceanfront view. On average, square footage in Hong Kong is $3,024. Yikes. That puts this Asian administrative region on the map as one of the priciest places to live. But
yeah, Hong Kong is just ridiculous in and of itself as far as prices on everything. But Asia, you always have to remember prices are going to be a little bit crazy considering the lack of space. And here, I don't think it's that bad, except if you're living in Tokyo, because everything is so condensed here. There's so much traffic. There's so many people. There's so much of everything. It's a more higher price. Go outside of Tokyo, you'll find beautiful places that, basically cost nothing.
with such booming cultural, business, and entertainment scenes, you won't be spending much time at home anyway. Let's look for something a little roomier, shall we? Straddling the border between Asia and Europe is none other than, any guesses? Yep, Istanbul. A cultural melting pot, this enormous city actually isn't too expensive property-wise. Picture yourself living here, in this captivating 5-bedroom villa which overlooks the sea. It sits in the highly sought-after area of Beylikdüzü, includes a private pool and direct access to a beach, and rests over 8,600 square feet of land. While the interior is spacious and full of amenities, the selling point is clearly that amazing backyard. This house technically costs $1.125 million, but if we put our negotiation skills to the test, hopefully we can squeeze it into our budget.
That's the one. That backyard actually did like. This is what I mean. And it's in a prime location, like a good location between Europe and Asia. So it's like flights to and from, you're good. 8,000 square feet, cuz that's the one.
Overall, Istanbul is as cheap as chips, at just $115 per square foot.
Oh, wow.
As we jet set over to Indonesia, they don't call Bali the island of paradise for no reason. On this tourist-adored island, $1 goes a long way, with simplistic luxury easy to come by. Estates typically sell for around $269 per square foot. Take this modern place, for example. With 7 figures at our disposal, we could set up shop in this open and bright 3-bedroom villa. A lot of Balinese properties have small private pools, and this spot is no different. The beautiful home is found right here, about 950 feet from the famous Canggu Beach. Unlike most new home purchases around the world, this one even comes fully furnished, allowing you to save a few bucks on furniture and spend a little more at one of the hundreds of delicious restaurants in the area. Indonesia and Southeast Asia in general provide awesome bang for your buck. But if Bali isn't quite your style, why not check out Thailand?
Ooh, listen, I was about to say Bali. Bali does it for me. I'm in. I'm all the way. Yo, you had this kind of bread though. Like seriously, you go and buy about 3 or 4 different fucking houses. If I'm doing this though, so definitely one here. I would want one in Thailand. I mean, Thailand's coming up right now. I would want one in Thailand more than likely. Spain is no. Ah, that's the hard thing. Like Europe, I don't think that I would want to be anywhere, like have a home anywhere in Europe. Like going there, it's always a thing of, excuse me, hotel it. That's perfectly fine. Even if I'm there for a fucking year. I mean, I'll rent somebody's house, some shit like that. But then there's the states, and if I'm in the states, I would have to say a home with, and the state is so annoying, but Arizona would probably be the one. I mean, if you got this kind of bread, yeah, you're owning multiple, like, just spots to hop in, sleep for a minute, and then do it moving again wherever you're going next. But yeah, those would be the 4 places I think. Here, Thailand, uh, Arizona. Where's the other one I said? Did I say a fourth one? I don't know. I'd have to think about the fourth one. I get it would probably have to be somewhere in Europe or Europe adjacent. I think just because then you're covering you know, all potential stops the world over.
On the sun-kissed island of Koh Samui, with some clever negotiation, our money will get us a truly remarkable 3-bedroom villa. We could talk all day about the modern interior. However, the undisputed gem of this property, one which we'd argue is a $1 million feature in its own right, is the infinity pool which overlooks the bay. While the prices on this island can vary, in perspective, the dollar cost per square foot in Pattaya, another waterside Thai area, is just over $200. Our fascinating real estate tour has taken us all over the world up to this point. We've seen some tiny apartments and some sprawling mansions. Have you found your dream home yet? If not, we might just have the trick. To etch your name one and for all into the elite bracket of the population, look no further than the Third K property in the Caribbean. This isn't just a house. Heck, it's not even a complex. This, my friends, is an entire private island. It spans 3.5 acres, and despite being totally private and isolated, remains just a stone's throw away from one of the Bahamas' most beloved spots, Harbor Island. The asking price is $1.3, but with a smile and a firm handshake, staying under our $1 million budget should be doable. So,
you can get away with that. You can get away with that island for $1 million. But here's the problem with the island, bruh. That's all you to deal with. Anything and everything that has to be done is all you. Of course, you can have people taking care. What do you do with your own island? It's not like you live outside of government jurisdiction or anything like that. Whatever part of whatever country that island's a part of, you are under their thumb. And the problem with some shit like that would honestly be that who's helping you to deal with anything that's going on there? No fucking body, really. But yeah, nah, that wasn't a bad video. You know what? I was gonna hop into one of the other ones, but we've already been. See, that's the problem with the 10-minute video. It takes me almost an hour to get through from talking. Actually, it wasn't that bad. But yeah, you know what? I think we're gonna just go ahead and hop into some gaming. We've got